Nicole, I'm excited for this.
Yes.
So I think you and I first met back in 2018.
That's right.
At the time you were debating joining Abnormal AI.
That's right.
And I'm really grateful that you joined, and it became the start of an amazing working relationship and also friendship. So Nicole, let's start with you telling us a little bit about Fable Security and what we're launching today.
So Fable Security is targeting one of the most important problems in cybersecurity, tackling and reducing human errors. Fable Security is an AI-first human risk platform where we understand the full spectrum of human vulnerabilities, and we surgically deploy direct to the employees behavioral interventions that helps them reduce the likelihood of human errors and also overall improve organization safety and security.
As we all know, human-based attacks are a leading cause of breaches, and we're all seeing these attacks become even more ubiquitous with AI. So classic social engineering techniques like deepfakes are getting very hard to distinguish from reality.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you've seen AI change the human attack landscape.
It really starts with attackers now using tools like AI to further social engineer, create these hyper-realistic attacks. And so that's an area that Fable is very interested in tackling, and we're constantly looking at the latest attack techniques before security teams even have the tools to spot those early trends and to zap these threats from the beginning.
One of the core concepts behind Fable is the shift from security awareness training to human risk management. Can you talk about this shift and what it means for customers and how you've decided to build the Fable product?
What we've seen in the last 7 years I've been in this industry is that the attacks are really evolving. They're getting more and more sophisticated. They're getting more and more targeted to the end users. People just keep on clicking links, downloading attachments, falling prey to these things. So that's when we realized that it's not the detection layer that's not working. It's actually the end user layer that's not being addressed. So when we look at the market, what we saw were security awareness training simulations. They can be long, they can be dry, they can be repetitive, but most importantly, they're not relevant. When we saw that gap, that's when it clicked. Today's way of how employees are being protected just wasn't working.
So Nicole, one of the things that's really stood out to me about Fable is just the speed of customer uptake. What have you learned from some of the initial customers who have deployed Fable and how they're using Fable to protect their employees?
Today, we're protecting a breadth of enterprises ranging from financial services, healthcare, technology, logistics, manufacturing, energy. And when we started to talk to customers, what we saw was this overwhelming, finally someone's thinking about the space in a different way. And so some of the initial customer observations that we saw are just such radical results compared to a traditional security awareness program. Employees with a Fable intervention versus otherwise actually started to commit less repeat offending behavior, clicking on less links, downloading on way less attachments. The way we do it is through understanding customers' risk at scale, different organizational hot pockets, and then we can derive using AI very personalized interventions to reach these end users directly.
Why don't you give us some examples of behaviors that your customers care about and how Fable has helped change them?
We helped the Democratic National Committees during the election last year. We're able to proactively brief their entire campaign staffers on the latest breaches, but also make sure all their devices are up to date to prevent themselves from the latest iOS and Android attacks that were coming into the threat landscape.
We at Greylock feel very fortunate to have worked with you and Sandy in Fable since the inception, and actually to have had you as part of Greylock Edge. Talk to us a little bit about that customer work that got you to the conviction around building Fable.
I think we had 100 customer conversations before even building Fable. We did a lot of expert calls, really getting every piece of information possible to validate the space. We were very rigorous about are we solving a painkiller problem or a vitamin problem. I think we brought in a lot of urgency and intensity in building this as well, which frankly really mirrors the current way we operate Fable.
So Nicole, you announced earlier you've raised $31 million just in the first year of the company's history. I know we're planning on scaling the team quite a bit. There's a lot of exciting companies in the AI era. If there's a candidate out there, why should they join Fable?
I think there's this rare opportunity to actually solve a very, very challenging problem, which is understanding human behavior and be able to create and influence human behavior for the better. And so if you're a developer who's looking to put your AI knowledge to practice, I think this is a really fabulous place place to be. If you're passionate about protecting people, if you're passionate about helping enterprises to stay safer, I would love to talk to you.
Well, thanks for catching up with us, Nicole. It's been a privilege to work with you and Sandy and the whole Fable team over the last year, and we're just in the early innings of what's to come for Fable.